We're back on the plot, and a combination of the hot weather and the recent rains, the inevitable has happened and the blight has arrived. This is a neighbour's plot, and just over a day ago I noticed a little bit of blight, and just over 24 hours you can see it's actually devastated the plants right the way across, and that's the damage it does. Wipes them out in no time. You may recall a few videos back that I topped this bed and covered it with plastic, and underneath there it's still full of I think it's 4 rows of Charlotte potatoes. So I pose a minced bed here, and the foliage is dying down on there, but I've got no fear at all with those, with the blight around. Sunflowers are still going. Unfortunately I missed the closing date for Nick's Giant Sunflower Challenge 2018, so I'll have to leave that till next year. But when I do eventually take them down, I'll drop a ruler on or a tape measure and we'll actually see how they did. My main concern is to get these are the Christmas potatoes, the international kidney, and my main concern is to get these under cover with the blight about into the greenhouse, but first that needs to be emptied. The first job in trying to combat the blight is I want to clean this greenhouse out. I'll probably leave the peppers in because they're in small pots and they're still producing. Well, the shame is the cucumbers are still producing, but I'm taking up too much room, so they've got to be chopped down now. This will be the last big picking I've got. This here, it's a decent sized fruit considering we're in the first week of October, but never mind. It is a little bit sad having to harvest the plants at this time of year when you know they're still growing left. That's the big cucumber they harvest, still got some peppers on. But round the back I'm just cleaning these up, and these I never even saw at all. And they're growing quite well. Up at the back there's some which have actually gone pale because I've completely missed them. Unbelievable crop this year. This is another one I missed, and the cucumbers got wedged between the 2 rings of the growing. Another variety of tomato which has done very well in the greenhouse there. This variety is called Sweet Million, and we've had lots of, as you can see from this, there's still a nice few bunches left, and look up the top here, it's actually crawled over the top of the greenhouse and still growing, but unfortunately that will be coming down as well. So another variety I recommend, Sweet Million. As part of the big clear up of the beds, I'll be taking these tomatoes down there, the Crimson Crush. But with the blight around, it might be interesting to see how they hang out. I will be removing most of the fruits, but I'll see how the foliage goes. Just checking through the tomatoes. some of them have started to go out a bit squidgy, some have got splits. So rather than mess around with them, I'm going to strip the plants now, pick the good ones out and get rid of the rest and get the plants out. Then I can put the bed to bed, ready for next year. The tidy up in there is almost complete now. Removing these halo rings. These really have done the job this year. I've had no rot off on the cucumber stems at all, and I can only recommend these. Feed in the middle, water on the outside. Here's the halo rings. This compost won't be wasted if we put to good use. I'll be putting it probably ready for the potato buckets for next year. That'll go in, definitely part of the mix anyway. One other thing I'd like to show before we finish this part of the greenhouse is this is one of the peppers, capsicums. Obviously I've harvested all this now, and I'll put these in the using mycorrhizal fungi. As you can see, just have a look at the root ball on there. That's fantastic, and that's with mycorrhizal fungi, and also perlite added just to help and add a bit of air and retain moisture. This is the pepper. As you can see, the root ball on there is fantastic. It's good. What I do with the peppers, you might recall from the early video, I've actually cut the bottom out. So that's gone through the pot and into the soil, into the borders, and it's really benefited from there. Well, that's about it for today. It actually took longer than I thought it would, but it's worth it. Weather permitting, tomorrow I'll also get the potatoes in here. All this compost in the buckets, that'll be bagged up and say put to future use. You can see how many cucumbers and that we've got there. There's a few more in there. Cherry tomatoes, all the peppers, and there's still 3 pepper plants going. There's one just dropped off there, noticed. We've got this big monster still going there. So that's it for today. As long as I can see a difference in what I've done, it's been worth it. So see you tomorrow. Shortly after I got indoors, I was thinking about the tasks I've got to do tomorrow, what order, and then I realised it was only about 15 minutes to sort this out. So I'd have been devastated if we'd had the blight come across tonight and wipe the potatoes out. So I just carried on, tittled the beds over and brought the pots in, and that's actually put that one to bed. So see you tomorrow. One of the jobs I don't enjoy doing is getting rid of these sweet corn stalks. They do take a while to rot down, although you can smash them up with a spade and they'll eventually go. Fortunately for me, our council's got another 3 bin collections before it finishes for the year, so I'm going to get these out, get them in the bin. Sweet corn can develop quite a big root ball, which means when you fetch it up, it'll have a big clod of soil on. It's important to make sure you get all that valuable soil off before you dispose of the roots. That's the sweet corn taken out of the bed now, and I'll tidy this up a bit better later on. But what it has done is opened all this up. Coming to the end of the first week in October, and the celery looks about right. Although we've had a really hot summer, I've had no problems with the celery, because when I dug the trench out in here, I put a good helping of cow manure in, which has helped retain the moisture and keep the celery going. I'm also planted close together, which has helped with the self-blanching. So I'm going to dig one up now. And that there, that's called Latham self-blanching. It's part of the autumn clean-up. I'm tidying the borders in the back garden as well. And in here, towards the, well, it's getting late, towards the start of the summer, I put the 3 Crimson Crush tomato plants in. Not many have turned red, but the green fruit is unbelievable. I'll show you once I've cleared this up. There's the total from the 3 plants that's in the garden. There's only one stake up, and there's left to do their own thing, and they've just gone rampant. So not many fruits went red. There's lots of green, and I'm sure once I move these inside in cover, most of them will turn. This bed here is where I'm going to be growing my onion sets and also the garlic. So I'm cleaning it out, which means unfortunately these beauties have got to go. The last couple of nights the temperature has been just above freezing, around about 1 or 2 degrees in the greenhouse. So with these dahlias that are in pots, although they're in flower, I think what I'm going to do is chop them down to about a foot above the pot and just put the pots to store in a frost-free place. I may even put them in the greenhouse. A couple of videos back you may recall that I mentioned there'd been a little bit of an issue with the green team and the transport about them getting down to the allotment. Well, I've come up to Colligate to see Mick Poultney, and he's going to fill us in exactly what the situation is. So I'm here down at Colligate Allotment, and Mick's kindly arranged to see us. Just an update, Mick, what's the latest with the green team?
We stood in their tunnel now, and they was down here last Friday. And that was the last time last time I'll ever see him. I've lost the minibus.
What was the matter with the minibus?
Somebody used to sponsor him in the sense that they give him a minibus, which would advertise their company. I think it was a garage that got him.
Yeah.
But it was an old one, and the MOT servicing. This one went through. It cost it too much to get it through the MOT, and he just couldn't do it.
So when did they tell the lads in?
I think it was week last Friday. They come down here to clear up, and that cleared the bloody lot because they don't want to leave anything in a state or whatever. And then on the way home, they nipped into our house.
Right.
And they told them before they left here, on the way to our house.
I bet it was devastated, wasn't it?
Yeah, all of them. They got one of the lads to do a little spiel to us when they got home.
Now, how long have they been coming here?
8 years.
8 years.
I don't think it's that, well, you know, I think it's that long, do you? When I looked into it. So I've been looked after them for 8 years, and to lose somebody like that, because that was great. They loved it down here.
I know. I'll say, the few times I've been down, I've met them. The first time I met them, you introduced me to them, and it must have been 6 months later I come down, and as soon as I come down they knew me, they remembered me name, it's you know, see the joy they got out of it. I mean, I remember when we covered the polytunnel and but it's just a shame. So green team now more. So what's the plans for this then, do you think, or what? Or
Well, because I started off, how long was that ago? It's got to be 12 years ago. When I got the land for these two,
yeah,
and then I got the money off a lottery funded 29 grand. It took me 2.5 years to build, finish these two. And the hardest job was getting somebody to take them on.
right.
Because the first one who had this was Starbase Blight Centre. And they was just getting into it, and they lost their transport. Exactly the same
See,
thing.
it seems a big issue with these, getting the people to the location here, doesn't it?
But it's got to be somebody, because I got the money for to do it with disabled, i.e. wheelchair and walking.
Yeah.
I've got to have those groups in here, otherwise I've got the money on false pretences.
Well, I mean, the fact that you've run it for like 10 or 12 years under them conditions, I don't think anybody's going to claim that. But
Most of them to suck egg anyway.
But I mean, going back to the Green Team, that is such a tragedy. And you did say that the place, where's their office or the meeting room?
It was the pump house up Netherton on the canal.
Yeah. You say it was?
Yeah. Well, the first floor of the pump house,
Yeah.
the Canal Trust,
Yeah.
that was their building, obviously. Obviously the pump house don't work anymore. But they give the Green Team the first floor as their base, like headquarters. That's where they met up and whatever. In return, that they've got to work on the canal, i.e. weeding, picking litter up and all this crap.
So coming down was an escape down here?
Yeah. Well, they got no enjoyment of bloody picking rubbish up. But coming down here, they loved it.
Yeah.
Because they only grew what they wanted to grow, what they eat.
Yeah.
And in the end, I got them showing down our place and all, exhibiting down there, and they bloody love that. Because at November, we had a show in September, in November, their presentation night. And we used to fiddle the books, so everybody won, all of them won. I mean, it was good stuff that was putting in.
Yeah.
Because most of us more spares anyway. And I told them how to look after them, and it was bloody good stuff. But they loved it, something like that. So they come to the presentation
that massive sweet corn.
I got bloody green fingers, alright.
Yeah.
That was one of my spares. They had two plants. They put them on the end of one of the beds. They lost one for some reason, God knows why. But the other one, it just took over. And I just come by accident, so I thought, bloody hell, got some good muck under there. It was the muck we had delivered. That's a job for a couple of the lads there.
Yeah.
You know, an hour or so collecting muck, stored in bed, put it on the bed. But their plant, I said, it's a bit thick, you know, overgrown like. Because I like air movement in mine. Yeah. So there's only main stem and then I might have two wash it off. And I started looking at the cobs and I counted them and there was 9 on one plant. I thought, bloody 9. I said, I've only got 7 on mine. So that they should give me lessons. I think the UK record then was 11. There was only 2 off the bloody record. I loved it. As soon as I found out that, I thought that was going to be world famous. Well, I told her that was.
Hopefully, somebody local will come forward with some transit or a van or transport.
All we need is a rich boss who don't mind dishing out with a van. Put his advertisement on the side of the van, and you know he's doing his good deed.
Say it's a small thing, a small price to pay for the enjoyment they get out of it. But unfortunately, it's out of your hands, it, and
See, I was going to delve into it. This was last week, and it was too much on my bloody plate. That was Malvern. Yeah. When you went down Malvern, I was coming down on the Sunday morning. How big it was at home. I got the back of the van loaded with everything I was taking to mates down there. Stuff from the training shed. And I got dressed in the morning, ready to go. Went downstairs. When I got up, I went downstairs and I felt a bit heady. I thought, oh, bloody hell. I thought, well, I've just got up. Then I got dressed and I always go and get the paper first. We'll have a cuppa and a bit of breakfast. And halfway down the drive, I thought, this ain't right. The bloody head was going. you know,
You wore the side, you had the nod.
all that bloody good. I've never had been like that before. I said, there's something bloody wrong here. And I went and gave the missus a kick. I says, I'm ringing 111. Is it 111 or 101?
Yeah, 111.
First time I rung then, they're bloody excellent. And the A&E straight away. And I was up there and they went through all the rigmarole, blood tests. So he's there all day waiting for the results. And originally he said it's Menin's disease or something like that, to affecting the it's balancing it, which is pretty common sense. But in the end, blood tests are through. He says you're fit as a ferret. You can go home. I'm going out. I says fit as a ferret in my house. I said there's something wrong. There's something wrong somewhere. So I started again, looking into it on YouTube and everything. And it is to do with balance and all this, but stress can bring it on as well.
It must have been all this aggro
And it's all this crap, because I've got stress from here, being bloody chairman of this place, looking after these. Chairman of the Colleague Garden Club, is we had a speaker back out last month, so I had to get another speaker within 3 days and all this shit. And then looking into this lot, because that's what I was going to do, advertise for a big boy summit. But I thought, sorry, I don't want that again, go through that again.
It's a shame, but hopefully we'll see them again sometime, and it'd be a shame to see this get to waste really, and knowing that they're well, they really enjoyed it. Thanks very much for your time, Mick.
No
nice
problem.
to see you again. So I'll catch up with you again sometime.
Oh,
see you later.
Cheers.